Seal built this place and everything in it, except the people. Well, maybe even a few of them too, by the look.
All right, pile of bolts. Let's run through it one more time.
What am I running it through?
Inventory, of course.
Understood. I will run through the inventory.
Solving our technique now.
problem, Sarah.
I no longer send. Verified. The Daedric incursions have been dealt with. Thank you.
I wonder how the Tribunal Temple feels about the Clockwork Apostles. Actually, I wonder if they even know they exist. We're in a whole other world.
A lot of might.
I wonder why Lord Set needs so many creations that imitate life. Because he could, to better understand them? You'd probably just walk up and ask.
My house. not like your odds.
I wonder how the Tribunal Temple feels about the Clockwork Apostles. Actually, I wonder if they even know they exist. We're in a whole other world.
By his word, I am bound.
Did you find it? Thank you. Now I believe I owe you some information. Seek out gloaming gates, impossibly deep pools of shadow. The cultists... I know of two. One east, one west. Look for the hidden caves where the shadows gather in force. Once you find a gate, you need only let yourself sink into it. I can't promise you'll like where you end up. The gates weave in and out of Nocturnal's realm of Evergloam. You can use them to reach your ultimate destination, just as the cultists do. But you must first traverse the Evergloam to find other connected gates. Set bless your labors. I mean that. Hate me if you must, but I truly hope you can stop this madness.
Dreaming.
Tell me you have something. Gates, of course. My apostles ran down a few rumors about cultists building strange basins on the periphery of the radius, but we never found any of them. How do these gates work? So we'll use the cultists' own pathways against them. Makes sense. Can't say I have any desire to fight my way through a plane of oblivion, but we don't have much of a choice, do we? Did Gascon say where they built these gates? And we have no way to know which will get us to our destination faster. Let's split up. I'll take the western gate, you take the east. Try to navigate the Evergloam. I'll do the same. Hopefully one of us will make it to the Cognitum in time. let him walk all over you. There's a difference between cordial and compliant.
You told me to play nice with others. Now you complain? I don't have to listen to this. I'll finish exploring on my own.
Sorry you had to hear that. Our family feuds aren't usually so dramatic. Raynor always requires a delicate touch, but he's never stormed off before. He hates being on his own. That whole shadow business. I didn't like the way Raynor let that high elf artificer with a dwarven control rod up his arse order us around. My brother didn't deserve to be treated so poorly. I just wish he believed it too. Before I wounded his pride, we were planning to explore this marvelous machine world. He charged off to prove he didn't need my help, and we know how that's going to turn out. I'll let him cool off, but could you make sure he stays out of trouble? What I said to Raynor was pretty harsh, but he can be so infuriating. Look, he might be a brilliant artificer. Unfortunately, he's a terrible dungeon delver. Without me, he's going to get lost or hurt. Just don't mention me when you see him. There are so many intriguing possibilities, I'm not sure which one he tried to tackle first. If I were my brother, I'd start by heading into the radius. We talked about using that gulch with the outflow pipe as a base, so maybe begin there? Like Kwama warriors fighting for the affection of their queen. We're siblings, of course we have arguments. Raynor's a thinker, and I'm all about action. Our differences make us a great team, when we're not engaged in a heated debate. No, Raynor needs some alone time. We both do. No sense starting the same fight all over again. You go talk to Raynor. Help him work things out so we can get back to our usual sibling rivalry. Just don't let him know I sent you.
Reading array corrupted. Please try again.
Fine goods at fair prices.
You won't even hold a discussion? Set didn't teach us to discard knowledge whenever it proves inconvenient.
Even Sotha Seal abandoned those experiments for good reason.
He never forgave.
Kirith doesn't appreciate my contributions to our partnership. She thinks I'd be lost without her. Well, I'll show her. My superior intellect easily outshines her bravado and daring do. But what brings you out here, my friend? That's a generous offer, but I find your sudden arrival somewhat convenient. Did my sister send you after me? She really does think I'm as helpless as a newborn scrib without her, doesn't she? It's a fascinating place, isn't it? So much to see and learn. People in the Brass Fortress told me about a number of sites. We simply have to go and see them for ourselves. The possible discoveries, they boggle the mind. There are a number of locations I want to examine. I added them to your map. Lead on, and I will follow. Don't worry. I'll provide any assistance I can, but I have to admit I'm not much of a fighter. That's more Kirith's area of expertise. Same way as you, I imagine. We were looking for the ruins of Barm's Amshend beneath Mournhold when we came across a tiny city inside a clockwork globe. Needless to say, I knew what it was the moment I saw it. The shrinking made me queasy, though. Stern, physically intimidating. To be honest, she scares the scrib jelly out of me. Did you know she was once an Imperial battle mage? During the Riemann dynasty, while fighting in some war, a spell went awry and threw her through time and space. Eventually, Sothasil found her. She was severely injured, but he restored her using supplemental clockwork body parts. Soul gems power the parts, as with any other enchanted item. She's received so many replacements, she's functionally immortal. She also thinks I'm stubborn, antisocial, and a pain in the nether regions. I admit I acquiesced to Naramo's leadership. He has experience, wisdom, qualities that come naturally to someone of his age. To do less would have been disrespectful. Devaith Fear offered to teleport us out of here when we're ready, so that's one option. I plan to find our own way out, though, just in case. After I prove to Kirith that I'm capable of investigating a site on my own. With your help, of course. Stern, physically... The Resonant Sphere. One of Sothasil's minor marvels. There! Did you hear it? The same tone that the central spire emits during the night cycle. Let me tell you what I discovered before we move on. Did you notice the perfect symmetry? The total roundness of the form? And the way it reacted to simple, magical impulses? Incredible! If memory serves, the chimes sounded similar to the ones that ring in the Brass Fortress. Applying magic to the sphere provoked an oral response. Perhaps Sothasil utilizes different frequencies of sound to perform his divine workings. On the other hand, Lord Set might just appreciate good music. Tribunal doctrine strictly defines the consequences of questioning the methods and mechanisms of our living gods. The apostles here in the Clockwork City emulate Sothasil in their own ways, so any questions I ask seem tame by comparison. That's close enough. Don't want to disturb the, wildlife. Those machines must be pumps for moving the lubricant throughout the Clockwork City. Fascinating. I have what I need. I wonder how the lubricant winds up in the Veil. Every time I answer one question, 3 more appear to take its place. I'm glad you asked. I surmise that a correlation exists between the lubricant and the dead organic matter inevitably created in the Clockwork City. It has to go somewhere. I speculate that those pumps distribute the grease throughout the complex. Ah, but the fabricants consist of both flesh and machine, and so do the apostles. While the Dwemer were masters of mechanical construction, Lord Set took it a step further by adding living material to the mix. Kirith... No, never mind.
So the seal really didn't have company in mind when he made this place.
I don't suppose we have anything to cook. In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
I saw this from a distance and was instantly intrigued. There's no rhyme or reason to its function, at least none that I can ascertain. Maybe one day I can return with an entire team. What a magnificent monolith! I wonder if the workings extend into the subterranean levels below us. Maybe that's where the true functioning takes place. That's what I've been pondering since making my meticulous inspection of the site. It's a conundrum. Despite what that Slagtown trader told me, I don't see any method for determining what time it is. Kirith uses intuition and leaps of logic instead of sound deductive reasoning. But it works for her. More often than not, actually. She thinks the tower is part of a vast underground mechanism that makes the city function. I suppose that makes sense. We need to go back so I can tell Kirith. Damn. I can't believe I let a stupid argument cut my sister out of this. She should have been here. Not that I don't appreciate your help, mind you, but Kirith and I... we're a team. It does, doesn't it? I'm not sure how to proceed. The complexities of social interaction are Kirith's speciality, not mine. She's my sister and we're a team. We work well together, but she did use some harsh, hurtful words. What do you think? You're right. I can be the bigger person and apologize. I am her older and smarter brother, after all. Let's return to the Brass Fortress. Perhaps you can talk to her first and see how Kirith is doing. She's probably lost and distraught without me.
You can make it! Keep moving! Ooh, that was a bit of a warm-up. Set needs so many creations that imitate life. Because he could, to better understand them? You'd probably just walk up and ask.
Virtue through design. Design through...
There you are. I was worried sick about you. Did everything go all right? You didn't run into any trouble, did you? Raynor requires constant supervision, especially around ruins and other ancient places. He's extremely smart, but he has few practical skills and he's easily distracted. He does he? Well, I have a few words for Raynor as well. We're partners, and partners don't abandon each other when the going gets rough. Anyway, Thanks for making sure he got back here safe and sound. I appreciate it.
Kirith, well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stormed off like that. I blame all this metal. I think I'm getting a rash.
I'm sorry too. I said some things that were uncalled for. Unfair. Father, Mike.
Can't you see I'm busy?
Is this how... It's wondrous, isn't it? Elegant, meticulous, timeless. I once took joy in studying the perfection of this realm, but now every revolution of the great gear only tightens the vice in my chest. Tell me, are you here to unravel Lord Set's mysteries? Then may I impose on you as a fellow seeker. For all my learning, I can think of no escape from my predicament, save one. An experiment performed by one of my order, for which she was cast out from the Clockwork Apostles. I need you to find her. Terere Helladrin was ahead of her time. It was fear that led to her expulsion, not reason. I see that now. Please find her. Tell her I'll make it right if she'll save my life. There is no one among the Order I can turn to. She is my only hope. Terere has been gone a very long time, but her ill-fated experiment created a persistent disorder in the grand schema. Its motions are chaotic, but not entirely unpredictable. Following it may provide some clue to her whereabouts. We were some of Tamriel's best and brightest magi, invited to the Clockwork City by Sothasil to attend his experiments and learn from the greatest mind in creation. We believed she was meddling with forces that were solely the domain of the Clockwork God. A backward, emotional response one might expect from followers of a less enlightened deity. Destroying her notes and shunning her ideas was shameful. Terere's ambitious experiment resulted in a factotum going haywire. It reduced portions of the brass fortress to shambles before taking its rampage off into the reactor district. We record its movements by analyzing the destruction in its wake. Age, Seeker. Too many grains from the hourglass have gathered in this humble body. They've worn its workings so thin. I don't think it will be long before I join the inert, but I'm not ready. There's still so much to see.
Just do as I say, you skeever!
Reflecting. Reflecting.
Wait, what are you doing now?
I am not a large rodent, citizen.
What?
If either is a large rodent, I am not a large rodent.
Off with you, Swit!
Who are you? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't reduce you to dust where you stand. He what? No, absolutely not. That experiment cost me everything I held dear. I was a fool to try it. Sovor of all people should know that. The only thing I want is to put an end to Bolin's misery. You want to make things right? Help me free his soul from its machine prison. Do that, and maybe, just maybe I'll be willing to entertain this insanity. Remove the black soul gem from his factotum body and return it to me.
He'll resist you, and as that machine, Bolin is extremely dangerous. He nearly killed me during his last episode. In the meantime, I'll contact Sovor, but no promises. My lover. When I was still an apostle. He was mortally wounded in an accident, beyond any hope of survival, but I couldn't accept that. I was enlightened, so I saved his life by transferring his spirit into a factotum. Bolin's consciousness took over the factotum, but the experience changed him. He always had a wild, creative mind, and I confined it to a cold, rigid prison. That stifled existence was too much to bear. It drove him mad. More than certain. Every moment that he lingers in that mechanical shell is torture. For both of us. Just don't damage the Black Soul Gem. Honestly, I'm not sure you could. But just be careful. I don't know. I'd like nothing more than to smash it into 1,000 pieces. But there's no guarantee that that would redeem Bolin's soul. I've been so focused on finding and stopping that factotum that I haven't really considered what would come after.
Wasn't worried. Were you worried? Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers. This is the fight metal. You know, I like to think I'm agreeable. Change of plans?
Dust aside, the equipment is in good order. We just need the vessel, and we can begin.
Is that them?
This is trudging up so...
Returned? The world feels so heavy now.
This is dredging up so many unpleasant memories. Please tell me you've managed to show Bolin some measure of peace. That's something at least. I've agreed to attempt my experiment again with Sovar as my subject. He's promised to petition the Order to end my exile if I'm successful. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want this to be over. The truth is, I need Sovar as much as he needs me. I think the only way I can safely extract Bolin's soul from the gem is to offer it something in exchange. Who knows if I'll ever have another willing subject? Can I count on your assistance? I'd like you close at hand in case Sovar has a similar reaction to the experiment as Bolin. Throw that switch when you're ready to begin the transfer. I'll keep watch on the equipment from here. It's begun. Now would be the time to...
I have faith in sense. Observe, learn, apply. Trust in his grand design. Yes, it's sublime. This order.
Ifre, I can feel.
Leave the students be. I'm the one you want.
I don't know how you lot escaped from torture, but it will resume.
You are not yourself, Narayaneth. Let me help you.
Help yourself, wretch.
Wait! Narayaneth, don't do this! Did you arrive from the surface? Even a lich will die.
Do you louts think you're going to save my wife? She doesn't deserve to be saved.
It's just up ahead, and it's under guard. Be careful.
Ashes of the intruders, but Allenway is not to be harmed. This place is not for mortals. We're going to open you up, find some chains to hang your peanuts. Even if you defeat me, you won't get far. This place is not for